Well, the new move in late or evening TV shows seems to be the reality shows. And one of those was called The Apprentice. I'm not going to name the key person, but anybody that's watched any TV at all will know who I'm talking about. And at the end of the series of tests or events, this person looked another apprentice in the eye and said, "You're fired." Well, this kind of made a joke out of the idea of employment and how fragile it was, and somebody could be disappointed. Obviously, these are actors, these are intelligent, prestigious people that probably didn't need a job, and they're just there competing. But in the real world, people need a job. And if you're going to own a business, you need to be very conscious of how having a job is critical to the main population of your workforce. Never lose sight of that. So you need to be very serious about the reality of owning a business and not create an environment where you're hiring too many people and then you got to let some people go and you treat people like a commodity. That's not good. That's not going to work. That's not going to give you the loyalty, the long-term stability and dependability for your workforce to feel comfortable for working for you on a long period of time. We have a long tenure of employment. We have, not naming any people in particular, but we've got people that have lived here, worked here 27 years, 19 years, 15 years, 16 years, 10, 11, 12 years. It's not a lifetime commitment to work for us, but these people have decided this is the career path they want. They are happy following this career path, and in choosing where to work inside that career path, we want them to choose our company. We want to be a place that our workers want to come to work, enjoy work as much as possible, go home and feel refreshed, but they can't have a fear of losing their job based on economic downturn, nor some frivolous incidental case that could cause them to be at risk. That is not the atmosphere we want. That's not the atmosphere we have. We have a long-term mentality, partly because we like long-term customers, we like long-term employees. Now, this has not always been the case. When I bought the company in 2006, economy was rolling strong, everybody's fine, looking for all the workers we could get, training workers, but the famous year 2009 came into picture, and this was a tough year. We had 65 employees, and with tears in my eyes, I had to tell 41 people, "I'm sorry, tomorrow you don't have a job." There was no way around it. It wasn't frivolous. It was very serious. It was a need that I had to do to make sure that the company was strong and would finish strong and stay strong. There was no sense in letting the entire company go down the tubes just because I was going to play hero and hold people on that I really couldn't afford. So that was a bad year. I don't see that happening again. I'm trusting that won't happen again. We're doing everything we can to only man up with the right number of people. We do allow overtime. It doesn't make sense to me to just be right on the clock, say, hey, you've got 40 hours, can't do 41. That's not going to work, because we would rather have our workers have plenty of employment, including some overtime, as long as they're not stressed and losing efficiencies, and as long as we have need in the company, I do allow overtime. Now, just a little bit about my history. I've been in business ownership for about 35 years. I have owned two major companies. And those two companies, if you added the fact that we have an employee number starting at 1, and you go on up the numbers in two different times, if you add those different numbers of people that have worked for me as a company, you could say it's in excess of 1,500 different people, 1,500 different Social Security numbers. So I kind of want to think I have a little bit of an understanding of what it means to employ people. Now, I didn't do every raises, I don't actually terminate everyone, but on that case where we had a major economic turndown, I felt the responsibility to face everyone head on and tell them how strong we felt about them, how happy we were with their work, but conditions didn't allow us to keep them employed. Now, they had unemployment, we helped bridge the gap, we did everything we could. Now, fear of losing a job is paramount. That could cause all kinds of ripple effect within the person's employment, within their family, within their personal approach to life. We do not want to create an environment of fear. We also don't want someone surprised that if they have not been performing up to par, they've not been performing as needed, we don't want them to all of a sudden realize, uh-oh, I may be extremely at jeopardy of my job and or maybe let go. We need to have communicated the ways to improve, their work habits, their skill sets, the way to maintain and improve their status in the company. So we want to be very careful not to what I call knee-jerk, give people a fear or fear complex about their job. Now, really three things that I'd like to point out as key points. First is we see someone in the company that's not excelling to the level we think they should excel or could excel. We work with them. But we first ask and say, is there really a better fit in our company? Are they doing something that's not actually what is their best fit? We've had people operate in a machine and actually the pay scale and pay increase would have maybe been better or faster working at a machine, like we are sitting here at this machine, but they felt and we felt they would be better in the position of a buyer or in the position of a warehouse lead person or in a manual machine, so something different than what we originally hired them for. We try to promote within at any way we can. For several reasons we promote within. We also know that we want to know the work habits of the person working for us. We want to know their diligence, their intelligence, and you can't see that on an application. So when they work for us for a period of time on one particular job and we consider them for a change of positions, we have that one element taken care of. We know their work habits, we know their mentality, we know how they are either committed with us and we want them to go to another commitment. Now, we also want to make sure that at any point of discipline or dismissal, we've done and asked ourselves this key question. This is number 2. We ask ourselves, have we done everything we could to adequately train that person to excel in their current position? A lot of times we haven't. A lot of times we've left a few things vague or uncertain, not given clear communication. So we want to be sure they have every chance to succeed inside the work environment and the particular job they're doing. Now, when it comes to number 3, it's kind of like 2 strikes, 3 strikes, you're out. On the 3rd strike, we don't really call it a strike like that, but we consider that, at this point we've tried everything we could, or at least within a reasonable effort to try to find something that fit. We've tried to improve training, but we have to come to the reality that they really fit someplace else better than working for our company. We're actually doing them a favor. It sounds like we're playing games here, we're not. But we are actually doing them a favor. If they're not excelling in the business that we have for them, the job we have, they're better off working someplace else. They may not see it temporarily, we regret that, but at the end we've got to trust that they're going to find the right fit working for somebody else, and it's not here, and we do have that termination process. We hope that every employee comes to work for us that serves us a long time, but the reality is we have a mobile society. People move, people have the right of choice where to work. We have the right to choose who's to work here. And so we want to maintain, though, our company as a place of choice, that people want to work here, they're intelligent, they're dedicated, they're committed to solving problems and thinking on their feet, and we want to give them every chance to excel within our company with pay raises, with advancements, with position changes, whatever we can do to make this better for everyone.